Hey, this is Mark Watson, MTC Media with your Duke UVA preview. UVA welcomes Duke to Charlottesville. The Cavaliers have won 10 of their last 12, while Duke will try to bounce back from being trounced by Miami 81-59 in a complete domination by the Canes. The Cavaliers have a trend I've been seeing more and more in college basketball. They are first in the conference in three-point shooting while being 14th in the ACC in three-point attempts. Similar to how Indiana's footprint has been throughout the year, where they shoot the three-pointer well, but they don't shoot a lot of them. And it could be a trend that you're going to see this trickle-down effect, not only in college basketball, but throughout basketball, period. The reason why this is important is because no one guards the three in the ACC like Duke does. They are number one in defensive three-point percentage. And with the Cavaliers, the efficiency being stressed over the volume makes it an interesting matchup in the sense that the Cavaliers need to shoot it well because they don't shoot a bunch of it. And Duke needs to defend it well because they know that because this is not a volume shooting team, there's going to be other responsibilities where guys are going to have to dig in deep or in help and those type of things. So they just can't sit out and guard the three-point line. So it's an interesting game within the game type of thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, for my money, I don't care what the standing says, UVA is the best team in the ACC. And I think that the gap is starting to widen a bit. I know you can argue for Miami and other, but I think that gap is starting to widen a little bit. So the keys for both teams going into Saturday, first and foremost, Clark versus Roach. I mean, it's a marquee matchup of point guards who almost have these traditional type of characteristics. They get their team into offense, they defend their position. They're not volume shooters. They're not combo guards masquerading as point guards. They are actually point guards, and both teams depend heavily on them to kind of run the show. Clark, it is his ability to get the Cavaliers in their sets against Roach and being able to push it when he sees it as a big time decision making type of thing. And for Roach, his challenge is not only Clark, but to be able to navigate UVA's team defense. So that is definitely a big part of this game. Turnovers. We never think of Duke in turnovers, but Duke is 14th in the ACC in turnovers. Turning over the ball against UVA spells a lot of trouble because UVA is one of the few teams in the country that can win a high possession and a low possession game. So when you're giving away possessions to them, I mean, you're asking for something bad to happen. So with the Blue Devils, it's going to be not turn the ball over. And last but not least, Cavaliers need to defend home court. Duke is 2-5 in road games. Duke has not played well on the road. So UVA needs to get that crowd engaged. And, when they can get that crowd engaged in that arena, it serves as a big time advantage. And Duke, and sometimes I think it's Duke's use, even though having Roach back helps a lot, because he does bring our veteran stability, you can still rattle those guys on the road. So for UVA, that's going to be a big part of it. So those are my keys. UVA-Duke could be the best game of the day in college basketball. Be sure you check that one out. That's Mark Washington from MTC Media.